Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly Sunday video where I typically make a video on something non-Warhammer. Sometimes it's a bike video, sometimes it's a knife video. Next weekend it will be a knife review. It's one of my 4K updated ones, so I hope you'll enjoy that. But for this weekend, I did say I'd make a few videos showing my video game collections. It's another hobby that I have. In a way, it's probably my first ever hobby when I was a small child. But games nowadays certainly aren't what they used to be. This is my Xbox One video game collection. Now, there are some games here that obviously are installed on the Xbox One X, such as Cuphead. Obviously, that's not here, and that's a great game. Gears of War 4, Halo 5, both the Tomb Raiders. So there are a few games that, aren't here in sort of disc form that are installed on the console. So I just wanted to, point that out. But if there are a couple that aren't here that you'd recommend, obviously, please do put it in the comments below. Great to hear your thoughts, especially if you've been an Xbox One gamer or owner, since launch. I've only been with Xbox One since last year, about this time last year. I got the S, and then just a month ago or so I got the X. Definitely moving forward, given the quality of these games, I would definitely be looking at getting the multi-platforms on these. It's just great to be back on Xbox, especially with the updates and improvements that they've put on, not only for the console but the games as well. They've definitely shifted their focus. I don't want to start up a debate about which is better or whatever. I've got all the consoles, so it's not really an issue. I just think it's worth noting that they've shifted a lot from the early days of Xbox One TV and Kinect back onto the games. So hopefully in a year or 2 years, their game library will have improved vastly. These are in no particular order, and a lot of these games I had in the big unboxing of them. But the first Xbox One game that I purchased was Forza Horizon 3. And recently it's had an update. Although it's only 30 frames per second, which seems to be absolutely fine for sort of Horizon Dawn and other games, it's had a 4K update, so it's full 4K. Obviously it was HDR before. It's one of the first games to have HDR, and it looks absolutely stunning. I've got the Blizzard Mountain Pack as well, and the snow, it's just incredible. And I'm so pleased that they've done that they've updated it. They didn't have to, but it's great that not only they've got the backwards compatibility, but that run better as well. They're investing in their sort of slightly older titles and bringing them up to speed with 4K. So that's Forza Horizon 3, great game. I had Doom on PlayStation 4, I really enjoyed it, so got it on Xbox One for very cheap. There is a 4K update coming up for this, it is on there coming soon. Bethesda do like to update their games for this console. They've done it with Skyrim, they've done it with Fallout and Wolfenstein, and obviously it won't be long before Doom gets its 4K update, and that's in 60 frames per second, so that will be incredible. So I haven't really played much of that, but obviously had it on PS4. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. It's a shame that they didn't have the Necromancer pack in with this when they re-released it, or even put a little code in it or something like that, because the Necromancer pack is quite pricey for basically one character. But again, this is another one of these enhanced 4K games that Blizzard have updated for the Xbox One, and I've never seen Diablo look so clear and crisp. It's just fantastic. Dark Souls 3. This one isn't mine. I'm just borrowing it from a friend, but I never had it on the Xbox One, had it on the PS4, so I will be going through it again. I am a glutton for punishment, but I have completed every single Dark Souls. I think I got all the achievements on Dark Souls 1 and 2 on the Xbox 360, and I'm really looking forward to the Dark Souls 1 remaster that's coming out on Xbox One and PS4 and PC and things in May, I think it is. So it's a complete remaster, so it's not just Dark Souls 1 in 4K or anything like that. They've redone all the graphics and things, and they haven't really said much about the HDR, but hopefully they'll have HDR on it too, because the bonfires will look just fantastic. I'll go from the top now, because it's not really in any order. Resident Evil 7, this gold edition came out a month or so ago. It does have HDR, but it hasn't had a 4K update. I think that is in the works. Capcom, not really the best in terms of updating their games quickly or anything like that, but hopefully we'll get that. But the Gold Edition has the banned footage, Volume 1 and 2, which are all right. It has the End of Zoe, which is great, and of course, you can download Not Hero, which was all right. Wasn't the longest thing, but hey, it's free, so and you don't need the gold edition for that. The Fractured But Whole was South Park, and I got it mainly because you get the Stick of Truth, which I'm really enjoying. I actually prefer the combat to Fractured But Whole. So that was great to get sort of 2 games in one, and it still holds up. It's sort of cartoony graphics anyway, isn't it? So it's not like a huge step from one to the other by any means. And it's my first experience of the South Park games, and yeah, really enjoying them. Evil Within 2, haven't actually played this yet, because I downloaded Evil Within 1 just for a story sort of thing, for like £4. I've almost completed that, but put it this way, you don't really need to get that. I haven't really enjoyed it that much, but then again, I'm coming back off of sort of Resident Evil games and things like that, and yeah, no, I haven't really enjoyed the first one. The graphics are pretty poor as well, but this one supposedly a lot better, and they have updated this to your 4K and your HDR and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to playing this once I can sort of grind my way through the first one. Shadow of War, Middle-earth, really enjoyed the first one. Obviously the microtransactions and the loot boxes and things really heavily put me off this, and I waited until this was dirt cheap. However, it is good that it's in 4K Ultra HD, HDR and enhanced. It's one of the best sort of showcase titles as well, along with Forza and Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider for the native 4K. I haven't really played much of this yet, but what I have played I've really enjoyed. I'm sure I'll enjoy the rest of it. Wolfenstein 2, I'm getting further on this one. I do like the setting and the weapons, and although it's not HDR, it is 4K and Ultra HD. It looks like it's HDR, like the lighting and the weaponry and things like that. But yeah, fantastic graphics and great gunplay. Assassin's Creed Origins. This one I played a little bit, and it's just beautiful. It's one of the best Assassin's Creeds I've played since Black Flag. Really enjoying this at the moment, and again, this is got the HDR and the 4K, and it just looks stunning. Bugs aside and things, I haven't encountered any bugs, but obviously there's plenty of videos where people show them. But hey, that's Ubisoft for you. If for a game world this big with so many things going on, there's bound to be a few things that don't sort of click. But I personally have played this for hours and haven't had a single issue. And again, this is a brilliant showcase for your Xbox One X. Forza 7, need I say more? Personally, I'm having much more fun with Gran Turismo Sport and actually Dirt 4 than 7. I find the Forza series have become more arcadey over the years. They didn't used to be. I mean, Forza 3 and 4 were pretty solid. Really enjoyed those games. But yeah, the AI is pretty terrible. Gran Turismo's got great AI though, and the cars do float about a bit. This is getting more and more like sort of Need for Speed, especially when you see the sort of car packs that they're releasing for it. But you can't fault the graphics. The graphics are stupendous. I mean, the graphics for Gran Turismo in this, it's close. It really is. Even though the Gran Turismo isn't native 4K, it does have HDR, and the detail on the cars are just incredible. But yeah, unfortunately, Gran Turismo doesn't have that many cars as it used to be, whereas this one, yeah, over 700 now. So yeah, this is another great showpiece for the console. Prey, I have played this a fair bit now. And I'm pleased to say I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought. The control issues and things have gone away. They've patched it or whatever they did. I think the control issues were for PlayStation 4 only. But yeah, I'm really getting into it and I want to learn more about this story and things. Bethesda, they are knocking it out the park with all these sort of single player games. Everything from Wolfenstein 2 to Doom to Fallout to Prey. You know, other publishers want to create the big multiplayer games with loot boxes and things, but Bethesda are just creating bigger, better, rich story games, rich single-player story games, and I really appreciate them doing that. So that's Prey. Super Lucky's Tale, only played that for a little bit. It's alright, it's not the best showcase there, the graphics are quite crisp and clear and things, but it's difficult when you're sort of competing against sort of Mario Odyssey, which is just, you know, a masterpiece, isn't it? Let's face it. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, only played this for a little bit, but the HDR is fantastic on this. Yes, I don't think it has the full sort of native 4K and things, but they've done such a good job with all the lighting. Batman Arkham Knight, that was another game I picked up before I did my sort of unboxings and things. Played this a little bit. Again, this is definitely the best looking Batman game up to date, so I've been enjoying that. Fallout 4, haven't really played this much. I've been waiting to get some time to play this. There's just been a lot of releases for the old Warhammer and stuff, so that kind of comes first and running the channel on those. But I would like more time to play through this. I did complete everything you can think of, all the DLCs and stuff on PlayStation 4, but that was back before the PlayStation 4 Pro, you know, and I played a little bit of this and the graphics are insane. You know, the draw distance is way better, it runs much better. Bethesda again have just done such an incredible job. And finally, another game in my collection, Dirt 4. Underrated in my opinion. This game is such fun to play. I actually prefer this to Dirt Rally. It's still got a decent chunk of rallying in there, and it's got your, you know, your truck driving and your buggies as well. But for me, this is such an underrated game, and I got it quite cheap. Codemasters know how to make a tight sort of driving game. I do like the rallying side. It's quite in depth in terms of having a team and managing a team, writing up contracts with engineers and things like that. The graphics are pretty good, but yeah, I mean, crikey, I'm really looking forward to like an HDR 4K sort of rally game. I hope that comes at some point. Gran Turismo does have a bit of rallying in it, but it's nothing compared to this. And hopefully Dirt 5 or whatever they choose to make will have the 4K and the HDR, and that'll just make it look, you know, incredible. I'd love to see sort of the snow being churned up and you know, sprayed on your screen in the 4K, and the HDR lighting through the trees if you're going through like a rally stage in Wales or something like that. So yeah, that was definitely a sleeper. 3 best racing games for me for this year have been Dirt 4, Gran Turismo and Forza 7. And that is all of my Xbox One collection so far. I've only been part of this sort of Xbox One kind of community for the past year, and one of the main reasons, one of the main catalysts for this was getting the Xbox One X. Like I say, there are a few games missing that are installed on the console, like Halo 5, which is 60 frames per second in 4K. It doesn't have HDR, and it does lend itself to HDR, and I wish they'd added that too. But yeah, that is a solid, crisp looking shooter now, the way it's basically meant to be played. Halo Wars 2 does have HDR. Obviously, I've got the 2 Tomb Raiders, and the Rise of the Tomb Raider looks absolutely stunning. For me, graphics-wise, the game I've been most impressed with all through the year, and I will be doing a PlayStation 4 game collection in 2 weeks' time, has been Horizon Zero Dawn. Those graphics have blown me away. But if I had to put it up there with the 3 best looking ones, it would definitely be Horizon Zero Dawn, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Tomb Raider. Even though Tomb Raider is like over 2 years old now, Crystal Dynamics have done a stunning job updating that and bringing the 4K and the HDR and stuff to it. So there you go. That was my Xbox One game collection so far in my journey. I'm obviously looking forward to State of Decay 2. That looks quite fantastic. There is an unannounced Forza game coming out. Maybe it's coming out this year. That's most likely going to be Forza Horizon 4. And of course you've got Crackdown and a few other titles. The point I'm trying to make is Although Xbox One doesn't have a huge amount of games coming out, the ones that are coming out will undoubtedly be better on that console. So if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, please do leave me a comment down below and like the video. And as I said before, in 2 weeks time I'll be doing a PlayStation 4 game collection video. I think I have double the amount of games or so for that one, all played on the PlayStation 4 Pro obviously. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.